Hi, everyone. I'm Dean McBride, a solo attorney in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the 2022 membership director for GP Solo, the national voice for solo, small firm, and general practice lawyers, including military and government lawyers. Welcome to episode 3 of Spotlight Solo, our monthly series to present solo and small firm attorneys from around the country. I'm really excited today to make a new friend. Joining me today, all the way from Laurel, Maryland. I say all the way because I'm in New Mexico, so maybe for most of you it wasn't all that way, but for me it's all the way out to Laurel, Maryland. And so I'm being joined today by Jamar Creech. He's the managing partner of Diversified Law Group in Laurel. And so welcome, Jamar.
Thank you, Deanna. Pleasure to be here.
It's nice to see you. Nice to meet you. How's life?
Uh, Life has been all right. Still adjusting to, I guess we'll call it the new normal with everything going on with the pandemic, and um, but yeah, life is good.
Well, in talking with I'm chair of the state bar's small firm board here, and we're talking about pandemic versus endemic versus, how do we get out? How do we have events? How do we connect? How do we still form communities and connections? It's complicated right now.
Absolutely, and I think that I think ultimately how we adjust, moving forward is going to determine a lot of things for many of our clients and the success of our respective practices.
So I popped by diversifiedlaw.com earlier and had a quick look. Do you want to give me a quick, in a nutshell, what you guys do there?
Yeah, so it's a boutique firm. We handle everything from mergers and acquisitions, private equity, venture capital, estates and trusts, sports and entertainment, immigration, bankruptcy, and real estate matters. Um, so the main thing is that we focus primarily on corporate work, but we do have some practice areas that handle more personal matters, such as, like I said, estates and trusts, real estate on the residential side, mostly at this point, and the bankruptcy matters are more of a personal nature as well.
Sure. And you're a two-person law firm, a two-lawyer law firm, is that right?
That's correct.
So how did you end up in a small firm, two people in a firm versus being in a big law firm? Like what was that like for you? How did you make this choice?
So it really started after I finished my clerkship in DC. I clerked for 2 years with United States Magistrate Judge, excuse me, Deborah A. Robinson. That was a wonderful experience. And after my clerkship ended, I really gave it a lot of thought in terms of how I wanted my career to go. And I figured that the best path for me would be to hang up my own shingle and venture out on my own rather than going in a more, we'll say, um, restrictive setting in terms of creativity and things of that sort with respect to being in a big firm. So that's why I decided to go down this path.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I want to ask about that. When you say you felt like it was the best choice, like how did you reach that conclusion? I mean, I'll just speak for myself. I I don't want to discourage any future employers, but I think I'm kind of unemployable because I'm sort of difficult. I'm kind of particular, and I sort
Yeah.
of arrived day one with a list of 40 things that need to change around here. So I don't know who would love having me at their law firm anyway, but like what was your input? Like how did this become the best choice for you?
I think it was because of my varied interests. Um, I think in other settings, I'd be more confined to working on particular matters for particular practice areas. And I felt like this would be the best choice because I get to work on the things that I want to work on and make a mark in a way that I think I would want to make, whether that's helping somebody set up an estate plan or helping someone whose dream was to open a business. So with those varied interests, I think I'd be hard pressed to find an employer that would allow me to do all of those things. So
So it sort of sounds, I mean, I think we often talk as lawyers about what we're going to do for other people, but there's that piece that you're doing for yourself as well, right? And it sounds like a piece of that for you is being able to choose the kind of work that inspires you and that you enjoy doing.
yeah, I think it goes to fulfillment. We'll spend many of our years on this earth working, and I think that part of it there has to be a point of, okay, well, are you doing work that you are somewhat fulfilled by? And yeah, I think that should be part of your decision-making process whenever you decide to, whether it is working at a big firm or hanging your own shingle up.
For sure. What are the challenges that you're having right now at Diversified Law, and how are you working on those things?
Well, the biggest challenge for me now is managing my workload. So there's been an uptick in my work, how I've managed it. I've had to hire a paralegal, virtual paralegal, who's been, helpful with fielding calls and keeping my calendar straight, and a number of other, administrative things that oftentimes I had to do on my own, which would take away from me doing more of the substantive work. So being able to have someone come aboard that can take some of, those matters off my plate has been a tremendous experience for me.
It sounds as if you jumped right from clerking to running your own firm. So you didn't go to a firm, didn't work in a firm. How do you find those mentors to help guide you in this business?
I started doing something about 7 or 8 years ago that I think has helped me grab some mentors. And that was, I started going to conferences, various practice areas, whether it's an estate planning conference, a business law conference. And through these conferences, I've been able to really build some good relationships. And through those relationships, some of those have grown into mentors, excuse me. And those mentors have helped me throughout the years, whether it's, hey, I have a question about this particular case, or I have a question about, just some business matter, something that may not be within the confines of precedent. It's just how to better interact with the client, things of that sort. So I've had really good mentors through the years, and I think a lot of it's just come through just me being proactive and going out to different events, mostly conferences and some networking receptions and things of that sort.
Is that more available because you are where you are out, in Laurel, and you're maybe not in the middle of the desert like me? I feel like a lot of pushback I hear from people is, well, I can't afford the time or the money. I've really got to run this business. I'm kind of in a panic about it. What do you? How would you encourage somebody who felt like they were just too constrained to go to conferences and do things like that?
I would say that it's an investment. So, you don't have to go as often as I do. At one point, I was making sure I got on a plane and went to a conference at least once a quarter, but find at least one or two that you could do in a calendar year. And those could be the ones that make the difference in building your practice. And even whether you're in the middle of whether you're in the middle of the desert or you're in a bustling metropolitan area, there are resources out there for you. And I think that sometimes it's good to go in person, or maybe you can do it from the comfort of your home. But there are enough resources out there for you, to help get you a mentor. So
So you show up in Austin or Tallahassee or wherever. Do you just jump in and start making friends? Do you buy drinks for everybody? Like what's the Jamar secret to making that work?
I don't know that it's necessarily a secret. I just try to, I look around and look for a friendly face, strike up a conversation, try to find some commonalities, whether it's, hey, I like football, or I went to this particular school, or I'm from this particular area. So, find some common ground, strike up a conversation, and go from there.
So I'm interested to know what's happening with you and Diversified in terms of being able to give back to the legal community where you are. What does that look like for you?
So I had an opportunity to participate as a mentor, something that we covered earlier. Just I was on the mentee side. I served as a mentor for North Carolina Central University School of Law, which is my alma mater. And I had played I thought, a really good role with a mentee of mine who just recently passed the bar. So I'm more active now, having that experience working with her over these last few years. I'm more active now with my alumni association, and through their mentoring program. That's the primary way of me giving back to the legal community. And I look forward to doing more of that in other areas as well. So.
And what do you get back from that, from those activities and that connection? What does that do for you?
Well, for me, I think it's just rewarding to see someone develop. To come into school as a 1L and see them kind of bright-eyed and about what this legal community is and their interest in seeing their grow and develop into becoming full-fledged practicing lawyers. So for me, I think that's what I get. It's just the joy in seeing them develop from student to practitioner.
That's awesome. So one of the things we're doing with this series is we're interviewing GP Solo members, and so I'm glad you're a member. Thanks for doing that. What, if any, GP Solo resources have been useful for you?
I think the biggest one has been the magazine. I look forward to getting the magazine because over the years I've been able to kind of look through some of the articles, and it's helped me to get resources for my own practice. So for instance, when I was first starting out, I was wondering, okay, what kind of system should I use in terms of practice management, and what should I use for my telephone system and all these things. So it's been very helpful for me to try to just put certain resources in place and things of that. So, and there've been another number of other articles from helping me with a number of other things that I've been able to implement in my practice. So.
Excellent. That's good news. I'm sure the magazine board will be really excited for that shout out. So can you finish this sentence for me? I like working for me because.
I like working for me because the impact I'm able to see through my work on a daily basis. That's it.
Well, this has been great. I really enjoyed talking with you and getting to know you, and I feel very excited that I get to make all these friends from around the country. So hopefully people will show up at a GP Solo conference. Maybe we'll see you at a conference and you can make some new friends too. Jamar Creech from Diversified Law Group, diversifiedlaw.com. Thanks for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Good. I'm Dean McBride, the 2022 Membership Director for GP Solo, the ABA Solo Small Firm and General Practice Division. Membership in GP Solo is free with a current membership in the American Bar Association. There's more information about GP Solo and the ABA online at americanbar.org. Thanks for joining me for today's Spotlight Solo. Thanks, Jamar. Everyone, good luck and good practice.